Good morning. First morning coffee. Right. This is morning after we done first application of Osmoil. It is 2-day process. There's just, you can't do it in one day because you have to apply 2 coats and there should be around 10 hours drying time between the coats. And taking into account that surface preparation would take for 3 or 4 hours, scraping and sanding, repairing or whatever else you got, there's no way you can do it in one day because that adds up to about 25-26 hours. So the best thing is start one day with surface preparation, clean it all up, sand it, apply first coat, and then leave it overnight to harden. It will harden really well, and then you can apply second coat. But before we apply second coat, I'm going to run a bit of fine sandpaper over it. And the sanding, I'm going to use this worn out disc 240 that was my finishing last disc yesterday. It's worn out, so it's not really 240, it's probably equivalent of 280 or something. And I'm not going to use sander, I'm just going to do it by hand, just to do light sanding like that. And that's all it needs. Always go with the grain. Just to take any imperfections off, because whilst you applying any kind of varnish on bare wood, it's not only the dust that can fall onto it during drying process, but it's actually what happens whilst the liquid is penetrating surface of the wood. The grain of wood can raise up a little bit. That's not only on the wood, it's on any fibrous materials. If you ever painted MDF, when you paint the edge of the MDF, you can see that there. You can sand it really nice and smooth. As soon as you apply first coat of whatever paint, when it dries, it's rough as anything. Then you have to flatten it down and apply another coat. That's not to do with sanding, that's just to do with fibers getting raised up, because they swell slightly with liquid. As the liquid penetrates in, fibers swell and that pushes them up. And now this section is not done and this section is done. I hope you can hear this. I hope camera picked up that sound difference. It's much rougher there, it's much smoother there. And because it's very fine sandpaper, you don't really taking any material off. It's literally just flattening all these little peaks that may have occurred during drying time. So this is Osmoil High Solids White Haze worktop oil. Once the sand is down, I'll get a bit of metallized spirit and clean cloth. Pick all the fine dust off. and then apply second coat. Application of second coat is exactly the same as application of the first coat. Later on today, but outside, I'll prepare all the upstands, and I got another small piece to go on top of this section here, and also for this end panel here as well. So them small bits I'll take out outside on the bench and do them outside. As long as it doesn't rain. It did rain last night or this morning quite a bit, so hope it's gonna stop and I'll be able to do it today, and that will be completion. There you go, sanded down. It's got nice luster rather than nice little shine. It's not gloss, it's very satiny, but this is only first coat. The second coat will get a bit more shine. Varnish application. So this is second coat of Osmo oil on the worktop. Some people might say, oh, that's a bit pointless of explaining how to apply varnish, but I'll do it just if there's some people still didn't try that in their life. So as you can see, I'm just whacking it on. What I'm trying to do is cross-grained, spread and even up that varnish material across the surface I need to apply. I don't want any dry patches, I just want everything coated up with that varnish evenly. Once it's achieved crossways, then I need to level it with the grain. Crossways you go aggressive, and then finishing you go long grain. So you can see, then I can camera pick up, you can see all the lines going like that, and then that there is just nice and flat. It's all within the grain, because what you do when you go cross grain, you're loading each grain of the wood with varnish, and then just needs leveling out, and you just go in long even strokes back and forth, because it's very hard or almost impossible to evenly level across the whole surface just going long ways. You'll have high spots, low spots, all sorts. So even on a short piece like this, I try to agitate that varnish in and then just spread it and level it out. Need to do front edge. Especially it's very important to do it that way, to spread evenly on these haze type varnishes or varnishes with any kind of pigment. It's just to get that pigmentation right across the whole surface. Otherwise you'll get blotchy parts, you'll get sections with more color, and sections with less color. So if you try to put there and there and there and there and then try to level it, you can see you have high spot, low spot, high spot, low spot, high spot. And doesn't matter how much back and forth you're going, you're always going to have high spot, low spot, high spot, low spot, high spot. That's why it's important to put enough material on the surface and go across aggressively, because you want to move that material, that varnish, you want to apply it on. A little bit more here. And you can see that now, because I'm going to cross the grain going the other way, I'm going to apply a bit more here. Right, that's enough, because what I'm going to do now, by leveling this side out, I'm going to cross grain the other side. Just solid, firm and straight strokes end to end or across the whole surface to level that varnish out. And as I went across that other side, this side here, that's all prepped up now, I can just go and cut in on that joint. And level then this side here. There you go, and just light up, carry on all the way around. Got another change of grain over there. I'll have to do a very similar thing over there. And another little thing whilst we're there, the way how I hold the brush, it's like this. So have a rest with a handle against my index finger, 3 or 4 fingers on the back and a thumb on the front. And that's how I can hold the brush firmly and gently. Have full control on it, especially when I'm surfacing flat level surfaces like worktops, because holding for a handle, it sort of gives unnatural angle to arm. On this way, arm just sits like this, almost like if you're holding a pen. It doesn't give you any fatigue or any pains, and it gives you full control of your brush. So I'm going a bit larger here. It's spread. As you can see, it's just aggressive spread. I want to spread this material, varnish over the surface evenly. And also, because I've got cross grain now here, I want to do there as well. See, now I switched from that hold to handle hold to do upright bit, because that's naturally easier way to hold the brush when you're painting upright surfaces. And then back to holding it for the base like this. Now, because I got this cross grain, what I really want to do is finish this section first. And then cut in on the large piece on the breakfast bar, and then go across like that. Oh, sorry, along the grain like that. And when you doing finishing strokes, don't start every stroke like stub do, because you will get that nasty end grain. You want to float it in and float it off. So glide it in and out like that. So like that. Almost like when an airplane lands, nice and gently. And when you do that, you don't want to repeat each one on the same place. You want to do one there, one say 6 inches in, one 8 inches over, then back, then further, then back. And it's hard to pick up when I move my arm with this speed, but I actually don't have stops and starts in the same place, in the same line, because any repetition will result in some sort of pattern. You don't want any pattern, and that's how you finish brush without leaving any obvious brush marks. Now it's just the last bit, last section here. I'm gonna turn the camera off so I can grab my little varnish pot in the other arm. So there you go, that's Osmo top oil for worktops, 3037 white transparent or white haze finish. There you go. This is now second coat. I'm gonna leave it till afternoon to dry. Let me just turn the light on as well. See reflection. It's very even, very flat. There's a reflection of the top lights. That's as flat as wooden worktop can get. Dry it out and very dry, and try to sort out the other little bits, the upstands, that end panel there, but it looks like it's raining. All the mess here, stuff I took out. These are the upstands. This is the other little worktop that goes against the kitchen cooker. There is a sink. And there is rain. You can see rain. Well, it looks like it's gonna be a wet one today. Grey skies, thick, dark. What do you say, kitty? Don't like it? No, me neither. It's bad, isn't it?